Okay, so this is for those of you who wanted me to do a tutorial about how to draw clothes and cloth and things like that. So I drew some body types, and I'm gonna um, clothe them and explain along the way. So the main thing to know about cloth, first of all, it's important to realize what kind of cloth we have. Some are more fold more easily. They fold differently. The thicker the cloth is, the fewer the folds are. And if it's something like Kevlar or I don't know, hardened leather like leather coat, it hardly ever folds. So let's start with this guy here. So let's say I want to give him a suit. I'll start with the shirt. Usually I draw just where the cloth article intersects with the body. Okay, so here's the color. And the main area, there are two types of folds. There are like when you pulled folds and resting folds. Resting folds is when you have body part like the shoulders that the clothes rest on, and usually you'll have something like that, like going away from where the clothing article is placed. And the other one is pulled. Usually you'll see them when the body changes directions drastically, like in the arms and in the elbow, almost always. And you just give it some volume. And the resting folds are usually more rounded, and the pulled ones are straight lines. And let's see. And let's say the shirt will end here. We'll give him like a tie perhaps. So something like this. It goes in the pants. Now, unless it's really tucked in well, you'll have some extra volume here, maybe even here, and just accentuate it with some lines. Now, I'm gonna go into details about the color. So there's this spot, like the hole in the shirt, and then you have going up, going down, and going around. This part is elevated, so it's elevated, and that's the height of the collar. The neck obviously comes here, and there's a head, some hairs perhaps. Never mind. And the jacket is obviously over the shirt. And again, I'm gonna draw where it intersects with the body, just the lines, no volume yet. Actually, it will cover the almost the sleeves. And let's say it ends here. And something like a suit coat will give more volume to the body, but the folds are really in the same place. There's fewer of them, and the color starts above the shoulders, and 1 and 2. If it's been buttoned like here, then the button pulls the overcoat, so you'll have these things. They'll be much more pronounced if I would draw this closed. And that's my jacket. And pants, again, most folds will be here where the belt kind of pulls the pants up, and here, and usually because the knee goes out, our legs are built like this, the knee goes out, then it kind of pulls the cloth a bit, so there are usually some lines here, and we'll talk about shoes some other time. And that's our guy with the snazzy suit. Well, if the collar was closed, then it would have been here. Let's erase. Where's my eraser? There we go. Let's give him a closed collar so we can draw a tie. So this is the head, and this is the neck, this is the shoulders. So when it's closed, it's like this. It goes down here, but you won't see it because here we'll have a tie. And the tie usually is straight. You don't need to draw folds on it or anything. So yeah. So that's the guy in a suit. This guy here, let's have him with a cloak, okay? So the cloak is usually folded around the neck, and here it's pulled to the hand, so something like this. And here it's gravity will pull it down, but we'll have something like this, and because this hand is holding it a bit higher, then it went up here. So something like this, and we'll have some over the hand, obviously, and here. And usually I can drape, and I can draw something like this. And there's a cloak. Let's give him like very, very baggy pants that are with boots. So first of all, for a millisecond I wanted to draw the boots height here, but that's a mistake because it can't be the same height as the cloak. It will cause some confusion with the viewer. So it's either up here with a protective plate, adding volume to the leg. Usually if it's leather or something like that, I'll have some folds here, because this part is active, like it's a joint, so, and over here as well. like this. And let's, so there are no folds over here, but this part hangs a bit low, so because it's held up by the boot, then it's pulled from it and it creates these lines. And over here, oh, this part is okay. And now obviously when someone is wearing skin-tight clothes like spandex or something like that, there's hardly any sign that they're wearing anything other than the color. Usually in that case you just, that's the hand, you just draw in order to make sure people don't think the person is naked. You draw the color and where the sleeves end, and the shirt end, and you can draw muscles and stuff like that, but not like he's naked, just the main lines of the muscles. That's it. Some lines here, a bit like small folds here, and that's it, like very, very minimal. Okay, so here we have a woman's body. I want to give her like jeans and a sweater, or I don't know, we'll try some stuff out. So let's say, okay, so that's these are the basic volumes, and let's try and make her fashionable. So I'm going to just, and I'm looking at photographs of fashion and stuff like that, so I'm not reinventing how pants look on a person. Always, always, always look at reference. Now if it's jeans, then it has this. And pockets, of course. And let's say there's a fold here. So just before the fold, everything gets really close to the body. And the fold is obviously makes things look thicker down here because it's double the layers of the cloth, even more than double. So here we have this. Let's say we want her to have like a cool belt buckle, so we can draw the belt buckle with the skull or whatever. And belt, and because it holds everything up and pulls it a bit, then I can draw some folds underneath it. And let's say she has just like a t-shirt, so no collar, and usually we'll have some, let's see, t-shirt or something more nice. Let's see. Okay, so woman's body with curves. If it's skin tight, if it's like a really light fabric, then the breasts will usually have some folds underneath them, and then it will go right in the, usually very tightly into the pants, and this thing will have some volume to it. Usually women wear like high heels with this, but okay. And copy folds here, and that's it. Let's try one more. Let's have okay, and she will have a high collar shirt and some sort of really cool jacket with wide but really short collars. I think it's, is it a collar still? And it will be closed up front and go down here. Not really tight, but the pants will be, so, and here, and this will have buttons, and buttons will make sure it's tight, and the fabric will not allow it to stay folded for much further away from where it's pulled, so some here and some here. And let's draw this is like a cop-out, I feel, like skin-tight pants, even though that's what the woman in the picture is wearing. So even though usually fashion-wise, if you have something on that's very loose fitting, then the other articles would be a tight fit, just to make everything more interesting. But let's pretend she's wearing a skirt. So this skirt would be, because she's sort of like walking forward, then this part will be close to the leg that is pulling it, and because the leg is pulling it forward, then we'll have something like this, and with this. And it's hard to see, so I'll delete the leg, which is not something I say very often. And now there's some movement to it, and that's pretty much it. These are like the basics of the basics, and if you work with reference, then it's way harder to go wrong, and just enjoy it and try your hand at fashion design. Okay, I hope this helped. I will see you in a second.